All right, let's talk now to my colleague, Manuel Bojorquez, who is also there at the airport hangar. Manuel, well, I'm sure you can, I'm hoping that you can hear me. I know it's loud there. Tell us, what do you make of the speech? What did you walk away from it? It clearly was very campaign style.
It really was, and I want to apologize in advance if I can't hear all of your questions, but this very much was very reminiscent of Trump as the candidate. Only this time, instead of Hillary Clinton as the enemy, he very much painted judges, the media, and Democrats as the enemy, and to that the crowd responded well. There aren't really any people here who do not feel that the president had a bad month. They say that the hindrances that have come during his first month in office are the judges, the media, the fake news, as many people here have called it. The president talked about building the border wall, about repealing and replacing Obamacare, about restoring law and order and bringing jobs back to the country. And of course, as you have listened to the campaign, those are some of the very familiar themes that the White House has put out there that got him to the White House to begin with. In many ways, this was an effort to remind his base that they are all part of what he calls a movement.
Manuel, clearly a stark contrast, a big difference when you talk about the division in the country. When we look at all the protests that have been taking place not only here in the U.S. but around the entire world. When you look at that crowd, it's kind of hard to see how this president will unify the country. He says he has plans to do so, but did you get that in his speech today, or was he just speaking to his supporters?
That's right, and speaking about the crowd size here, the Melbourne Police Department estimates about 9,000 people were at this rally. The president had said it would be massive, and the crowds definitely showed up. He has said that he really wants to bring the country together, that he's asked both parties to come together to make some of his agenda items happen. No real mention of protests happening in other parts of the country in the matters of immigration or the executive order, the travel ban that was struck down by the courts. This was very much, in many ways, what you would call a family affair. It was, let's rally as we did to get to the White House, and now let's rally against all the forces that may be conspiring against us to set out to do what we had set out to do. Let's keep that going. In many ways, the critics of the president and his administration had said that this would be a reset after such a tough week and really a tough month. No one here really buys that. They believe that the president really just wants to say thank you and remind people that despite the forces that may be working against them, that they and he will prevail.
All right, and now, Manny, I clearly understand and can hear the music just blasting there. Just a final question for you. It was the first time that we saw First Lady Melania Trump with the president in past couple of days, even weeks, so to speak, especially in a setting like this. He also talked about how he was surprised that she opened up the event with the Lord's Prayer. Was she a last-minute addendum, a last-minute add to today's event, and was the crowd receptive?
Well, the crowd was really receptive to everything he said here, especially when he repeatedly criticized the media. They would turn around and yell and jeer over in our direction, and that happened throughout the rally. This was, as the president said, an opportunity for him to be back with his friends, as he put it, maybe a reference to not feeling like there are that many warm people in the Washington establishment and in Washington, D.C., where he has been for the majority of the past month, his first month in office. So as you see the crowd here with their signs now beginning to stream out, they have just been over the moon by this appearance by the president here in Melbourne, Florida. It was quite dramatic the way that Air Force One fully appeared here just before the hangar. The crowd went wild. So this was very much the president at home doing what many have said he feels most comfortable doing, and that is campaigning and feeding off the energy of the crowd.
All right, Manny, of course, I couldn't hear the first part of that question, but thank you so much. We know it's loud in there. Fine job again, as always, with your reporting. Thank you.